Hello, you've caught me during the first 3 hours of a brand new open world role-playing game, otherwise known as the should I, shouldn't I, maybe this, no I can't decide character creation stage.
I love a good character creator as much as the next man, provided the next man secretly resents character creators and wishes games would take away the choking stress of free choice and provide a character for me. But the reality is, if you're going to be staring at someone's face for 300 hours, you want them to either look really cool,
or if you're an unapologetic narcissist, look like you.
Well, they definitely can't do both, can they? Whee!
I've been known to spend hours agonising over my character, fine-tuning cheekbones, eye colour, beard length, eyebrow depth and width.
Who knows the depth and width of their eyebrows, honestly?
And more often than not, the result is a misshapen mess that looks more like a half-melted Topshop mannequin than an accurate representation of my face. I mean, kudos to the artists at Konami who draw exact likenesses of famous footballers into a fully working computer game, and the wizards at Quantic Dream who model celebrity faces onto in-game character models and let us walk about in them.
Because when I try and create my own face, and let's not forget I've had it nearly 30 years now, here are 7 character creators in which we failed spectacularly.
We'll start with Mass Effect 2, which wins my award for Best Narrative Framing of a Character Creator in a Video Game. It starts by blowing Shepard to bits before he or she is recovered by Cerberus and pieced together again by special death-defying robot needles. The upshot being that regardless of what your Shepard looked like in the first Mass Effect, you can now rebuild him or her however you like.
I mean, the thing is with Mass Effect 2 though, I want to play as Commander John Shepard, not a rubbery version of me role-playing as Commander John Shepard.
It doesn't help that I'm rubbish at this. I mean, until popular culture births a new breed of hero that's bald, scruffily bearded and with a slight fast food belly, I obviously can't make a version of me that looks like a badass, and so I'm stuck with trying to out-cool default Shepard, and really, look at him. What's the point of even trying? Mark Mear's voice coming out of anyone other than the granite-carved Adonis that is Mark Vanderloo, Google him seriously, just doesn't seem right, does it? See, here's me.
I know this isn't the best time, but I'm sick of stumbling around when I don't know what's going on.
I mean, it needs to be a bit less heroic and more nasally, doesn't it? Otherwise it just doesn't work. Next up is Top Spin 4, one of my favourite sports games ever, with a career mode that's deep, immersive, and that crucially makes you feel as though you're making tennis history against some of the biggest names in the game. World number 1, 10 Grand Slams and counting, undefeated for an entire career, face like a hamster chewing a pair of socks.
In my defence, the game did come out in 2011, so you can't blame me for the hair.
The eyes, the mouth, the cheeks, the nose, the facial structure, you can blame me for all of those. What can I say? I don't know what I look like. Which doesn't even matter for our next entry, as NBA 2K16's pioneering facial capture system does all the hard work for you. Now, this is particularly exciting, seeing as how the NBA 2K series career mode is famous for being just the absolute best there is. The way it puts you in the game is unparalleled. Even people who know as little about basketball as Dave and I can be hooked instantly. It's the story that matters, effectively making NBA 2K16 a basketball RPG.
Even more excitingly, none other than Spike Lee directed the latest NBA 2K career mode, and so you essentially get to star in your own NBA movie. All you need is a PlayStation camera.
And so Dave and I set to work holding our faces at unnatural angles for unnatural amounts of time while the game sucked our likenesses into the PS4. About 10 minutes and multiple thousands of reference points later and ta-da! See, now hang on, that is actually pretty good if you imagine what I'd look like without eyebrows and if my beard somehow became ingrained into the very fabric of my face. Same for Dave, just add a little detail here, some stubble, hair, and boom! Excellent likenesses that look right at home on the court.
When I make it to the league, we'll have enough money to retire both of them.
Perfect! Perfect. And the excellent thing about it is you can model pretty much anyone. Wait, no, not you! Not you! Get off that! No. Because you haven't got a human face. It's programmed to recognise human faces.
To be fair, that's not the first time Delsin's had a go at a character creator. If you remember, there was a Friday feature ages ago where he used the Khajiit race to try and model himself in Skyrim. It failed miserably, as did my attempts to create myself. You see, the thing with Skyrim is it's all very well and good if you look like a towering Nord, or a kick-ass Redguard, or a shape-shifting David Icke had you sussed all along Argonian, if only they had a race called Slightly Sad and Overweight YouTuber. There might be a preset we could work with.
As it is, unless you can pull some sort of heroic orc from the depths of your imagination, you have to go with one of the boring races.
I tried making a high elf version of myself once, and you don't want to see it. Okay, go on then, quickly. And soon realised if actual pasty Rob Pearson was ever going to set foot in Skyrim, I'd have to plump for an Imperial. And they're rubbish. No one wants to be an Imperial. Here he is, look. Sir Boring of House Boringworth, Lord of the Boring Dale, and Defender of, I don't know, something boring. Bloodborne is up next, and I feel character creation within this or any of the Souls titles is incredibly important. The bond you form with your character in these games is strong. They represent your struggle through adversity, take a beating whenever you make a mistake, and gradually transform from shambling, nearly dead, hopeless case into monster-slaying champion of everything.
It's crucial then to create a character who's a strong representation of you within the game world.
He or she must convey strength, determination, a refusal to give up even when all seems utterly hopeless. Maybe if I... no. Here's a waxy David Cameron instead. Our penultimate entry is Dragon Age Inquisition, one of the most flexible character creators we've ever come across. As the game released, I saw loads of amazing creations all over the internet. Check out these Game of Thrones inspired heralds of Andraste, Daenerys Targaryen and Jaime Lannister. They look so good it's almost as if they're actual characters that shipped with the game.
Dave in particular got very excited at the prospect of traipsing through Fantasyland with the character that finally looked exactly like him.
And so he set to work, taking reference photos of himself from both sides so he even knew his eyebrow depth, and went about constructing the most realistic in-game David Jackson the world has ever seen. And went about constructing the most realistic in-game David Jackson the world has ever seen.
I don't know what that is or how it got there.
Maybe if it let you put some glasses on or something.
Yeah,
It might look a bit more like you.
maybe.
Look, making characters is hard. The only time I've ever made one I've been happy with is in Fallout 4, and that was because he looked more like a badass cross between Gordon Freeman and Walter White than an actual in-game likeness of me. And so coming to our final entry, Saints Row 4 with its notoriously outrageous character creator, I decided to just have at it. Screw realism, screw adjusting the sliders to slightly fat and slightly bald and slightly enormous forehead. I decided to create my dream man.
Turns out that's a bloke called Loris Poirot with the voice of Nolan North.
With rich brown curls based on the book version of Game of Thrones' Loras Tyrell, and the tightly curled tash of Agatha Christie's famous Belgian sleuth, Loris Poirot looks every inch your classic video game hero. But that's just surface detail. You can really get into Saints Row 4's character creator with things like sex appeal and taunts, and then afterwards when deciding what your character should wear.
Which out of this selection of virtual clothes best defines me?
Yep, I think it's safe to say this is a spectacular character creation fail. So let us know in the comments of your character creation woes, give us a like if you liked this video, watch another one by clicking one of the links on screen, and join us again next week for another Friday feature. Thanks for watching.